So rideshare, is it in trouble? Is AI going to kill it? I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to read this article here. This is, then we'll discuss. This is Tech News World. Kind of fun. Sometimes they write some good stuff, so I'm not going to give them too much shit about it. But let's see what they have to say about this. The ride sharing and robotaxi revenue model problem no one talks about. Robotaxi services are spreading broadly. While they've clearly had issues in San Francisco, as have I, driving in San Francisco, those challenges are improving. Now, both Uber and Lyft appear to be taking steps towards replacing their rideshare drivers with AI. We may be on the verge of one of the first large scale AI job replacement efforts that everyone will witness. This transition will fix a key issue with ride sharing by aligning revenue more directly with its users. However, it won't address a deeper problem that ride sharing has in common with social media, a decoupled revenue business model where the people using a service aren't necessarily funding it. So the problem with both social media and ride sharing is the people paying for the service aren't treated as primary customers. With social media, advertisers fund the platforms, but users engage with content as if they were the primary customers. With ride sharing, the platform enables car owners to monetize their vehicles, but that's a cost of the service. Since riders are the ones paying, they should be the customers of the drivers, not the platform. So in other words, if you've ever used Uber or Lyft, which I'm sure you have, if you breathe on the planet and you sometimes have drinks somewhere, you probably used an Uber or Lyft. You'll know that they get, like, Uber as a service or Lyft as a service gets a ton of the revenue that's collected from the customer, meaning the person using the rideshare program, and whatever it is, roughly, let's say 50% of it is given to the person that's executing the service, so the driver of the vehicle. So it's strange that it's done that way, because realistically, they're just offering a service that shouldn't dictate that they take 50% of the fee for that service. Okay, this decoupling means that those who make the service possible, like Uber, Lyft drivers, and social media users, are often overlooked. Their needs are subordinated to those of the entities providing the funding, like advertisers on social media and riders for Uber, Lyft. Instead of being seen as assets to be optimized, social media content creators and rideshare drivers are frequently treated as problems to be managed. Okay, so let's, he just goes into a little bit. Okay, so here we go. Will robotaxis disrupt or fix ride sharing? Robotaxis may fix rideshare or badly break it. If Uber and Lyft go to robotaxi services, then the people who use this service to monetize their cars are kind of screwed, unless they want to work for nearly free, because they won't be able to compete with an AI driver. However, this would also eliminate the problem. That drivers represent in terms of being treated more like a cost center than a customer. With robotaxis, Uber and Lyft can just focus on the drivers, who then become their customers. So essentially, I think what it's trying to say here is that, so if AI is running these cars and now there's no driver in the car, essentially, that's not only are you eliminating the driver, but you create this other whole problem with that. Unless you have a completely automated system where the car can fill, that's obviously going to be primarily electric, but the electric car can somehow charge itself, and then, or for example, service itself, like take itself to a service center, get it serviced and such. There's still a human that would have to take care of those processes, whether they're driving the vehicle or not. They still have to facilitate, the maintenance of the vehicle, also the upkeep and all that, as far as making sure it's charged and such. So there's still that problem that lends itself. So, I mean, but this could also just be, I know that Tesla, that Elon Musk is actually trying to work out a situation where your Tesla can essentially use its auto drive while, say, you're at work or something, to go and make you money while you're stuck at work, essentially, right? So it can go around driving people to work and things like that. Maybe go and get people lunch, whatever it would do, and then now you've offset the cost of your vehicle that way. So it's yeah, it would it's a challenge in that regard. So I don't know if so I don't know if the AI is going to necessarily steal rideshare completely or change it in that in that way. Just now, instead of making people drive the cars, they have to just sort of, manage the car essentially. Okay, given these challenges, Uber and Lyft will likely choose their own fleets and install unique charging ports, automated charging stations, and standby parking lots to accommodate typical fluctuations in demand throughout the day. So this article is obviously, he's talking about both, whether it people are going to be able to, you know, they'll use those vehicles in the way they had said that, now the AI will just drive people along and then they'll manage the vehicle as the owner, or if Lyft and Uber will just actually set up, automated systems where the cars that run through their service through Uber and Lyft will just take care of themselves in some way. So I don't know. If it's the latter, obviously that'll destroy ride sharing as we know it. If it's the former, then it changes it, and maybe for the better. Maybe now it brings the price down, the consumer price down. It would force Uber and Lyft to take less of a cut, and then the people that are facilitating the vehicles that are used in their system now would be able to, they'll be able to make maybe the same or a little bit less, but with less work, right? So I think it could be good in the end for the consumer. And realistically, that's with anything like this, that's kind of where I think you want to land on it, But that's just my opinion on that.